So obviously anyone who's been in property knows that sometimes things go wrong in property and sometimes there's no way that you could have anticipated them. So if something does go wrong with one of your deals, let's say a refurb takes longer than expected for something outside your control, might be I don't know, a planning consideration, it might be something that around the utilities. What happens if, you know, the time period actually extends beyond the date at which you said you're going to pay an investor back? What would happen in that situation?
We would never get to that situation, because before this happens, we would have already had in place a time frame. And if we know that there's something is delaying us, the investor will be notified straight away. We have a system in place that will monitor how the performance or how the development is actually happening. Sometimes what will happen is that we have the property will, and this has happened, and let me give you an example. For instance, we had a situation where we were doing a traditional conversion from commercial to residential, and then we had someone forgot that we need to apply for the utilities to be moved, and new utilities to be, because obviously you're splitting the house, so you go from 1 meter to 5 and absolutely everything. And of course, I forgot, but don't let anyone know about this. But anyway, the point is that I forgot, and that puts us actually back 3 months. 3 months put us back. I mean, this was painful. We had been fighting planning for 6 months, and then suddenly planning gets granted and Raquel has forgotten to apply for utilities, which delays us another 3 months. By then we were at 9 months and we still had not even started the work. The investor had said that they wanted to invest for a year, and they had been getting paid from day one. So whether we had moved or not, he was getting paid. But 9 months, we knew that we would finish the refurbishment by 12 months. So within 3 months, we were going to finish the refurbishment, but there was not enough time for us to actually recycle the money, which means apply for the mortgage and come back. We needed an extra 3 months time. So at month 9, we got in touch with the investor and we started talking to him and telling him what was the possibilities, that what was the available options. We could actually extend the contract that we had, or if he really wanted to, then we would have swapped the money. At the end of the day, in our portfolio, we are only leveraged overall at 60%, which means that we have 40% of equity in our houses at all times. That means that we have the funds available there at any given point to just return the money if I want to. He had a contract for a year, so he could not remove the money before that. But because he had been paid from day one, and because the communication had been clear all along, he had no doubt that he was going to get the money out. And therefore, he decided to actually continue until we got our money out. That happened within the following 6 months. And the investor, and it was a win-win. We managed to keep the investor happy and keep the development going. But he got more money than he had bargained for as well, because he stayed with us for 6 months longer. Because please remember that this is the important thing, which I think it doesn't happen with every investor. The money gets returned, whether he's going to invest again or not. The money actually gets transferred, so that there's no coercing. There is no, oh, but if you keep it, no. The money goes. And it's only at that point, if they want to bring it back, they can. But under a new contract, under a new house, under a new project, it just goes.
And this is Raquel Queral. If you have any more questions or want to know a little bit more about how we work and how we can potentially work together, just drop me an email at thegreenlandlady@gmail.com. Thank you very much and have a good evening.